'Cause we hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it, let it take you away. And be hopeful, hopeful, and He'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, 'cause we hopeful. 'Cause we hopeful. 'Cause I'm hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it, let it take you away. And be hopeful, hopeful, and He'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, 'cause we're hopeful. 'Cause we're hopeful. 'Cause I'm hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it, let it take you away. And be hopeful, hopeful, and He'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, 'cause we hopeful. 'Cause we hopeful. 'Cause we're hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it, let it take you away. And be hopeful, hopeful, and He'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, 'cause we hopeful. Bona, 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 bona. Bona, 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 bona. Tarehe kama 7 mwezi wa 7, miaka zimepita 17. humu duniani nishajipata. Mimi niko nilivyo, sina baba wala mi sina mama, siwezi enda mbali mi najificha, nachoka kujificha najitokeza. Mimi niko nilivyo, nafunga virago vyangu naenda mbali, sijui nifanye nini, niende wapi, nifuate nani, mimi nimwite nani? Mimi niko nilivyo, sioni mbona nyinyi mwanikimbia, sioni mbona nyinyi mwanidharau, sioni mbona nyinyi mwaniepuka. Mimi niko nilivyo, mbona 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 Wakati Mungu aliniumba, alipanga mpango wake kwamba mimi niwe jinsi nilivyo. Mbona sasa hamnidhamini, mwaniona kama sifai? Sikuchagua niwe jinsi nilivyo, nikitembea barabarani macho mmenikazia, mbio mbio mwaniondokea. Mimi ni kama nyinyi, mbona 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 Kwa nini mwanidharau? Na mimi ni kama tuwe, na mimi ni kama tuwe, kwa nini wanikimbia? Kwa nini wanikimbia? Na mimi ni kama tuwe, na mimi ni kama tuwe, kwa nini waniepuka? Kwa nini waniepuka? Na mimi ni kama tuwe, na mimi ni kama tuwe, kwa nini? Kwa nini? Mbona 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 Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Viva!
Sábado, uma balada. A galera começou a dançar e passou a me mimar umas livras. Tomei coragem e comecei a falar.
Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Viva!
Sábado, uma balada. A galera começou a dançar e passou a me mimar mais livra. Tomei coragem e comecei a falar.
Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Viva!
Sábado, uma balada. A galera começou a dançar e passou a me mimar mais livra. Tomei coragem e comecei a falar.
Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Viva!
Nossa, nossa,
Assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, se eu te pego. nimechoka kusota, nimeamua leo ni leo, nitabadili picha, nipe mwaka, usitupe upendo wetu, na usiamke kutoka ndoto yetu. Nilinunua baskeli kupitia mkopo wa benki, kusafirisha abiria, lakini iliibiwa. Mariana, Mariana, ulitafuta visa ya nchi ya Europa, utaniacha juu ya pesa. Hakuna takayeweza kukupenda vile nakupenda. Najua upendo hauliwi, lakini moyo haudanganywi. Nilinunua shamba na nilipanda mimea ya kuuza marikiti, lakini ukame ukanirudisha magotini. Mariana, Mariana, nilikuwa nimechoka kwa vile umaskini utafanya unitoroke. Mariana, Mariana, nilikomboa bunduki, niliamua na nilikuwa na mpango mufti, kama vile kwenye movie. Niliingia kwa benki, nilisema lala chini, nikajaziwa tikiti. Basi mimi ni huyo, nikajivuta upesi, nikauficha mzigo, na nimeiba gari, naenda mwendo kasi, lakini kasi haishindi risasi. Zinanyesha kama mvua, naomba Mungu atanipokea. Ukiulizwa kwa nini, kwa makumbusho yangu, waeleze nilikata kuishi kwa matumaini pekee. Mariana, Mariana, na 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 na, jambo la mwisho, kwa mizizi ya mti wetu nimekuachia zawadi, ili usinitoroke. soustraction, amour division, amour pas moins moins théo, amour multiplication. Multiplier, amour multiplication, multiplier, amour multiplication, amour soustraction, amour division, amour pas moins moins théo, amour multiplication. Mambo moyo elengi kole makati na mokokoli dotokadiana nzoto seme kole kati na versenye kese elengi na yo la kakaviera rusi obali yakana peti apeti nanga yo 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 doto nanga ikiasa su apeti nanga yo 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 doto nanga Claudia Etoileta Magie des esprits se devait rien gagner autres tu se va la nuit dans la lampienne multiplier amour multiplication multiplier amour multiplication amour soustraction amour division amour pas moins moins théo amour multiplication Zambian zali na ibolingo Claudia uzali vremelengi Dotonanga hii deka potable Bona muna yo Claudia ikiesa su Comment séparer les textes du contexte Claudia sasi me si c'est vraiment d'amour
Proposa mona yo de vision sentimental
Enduchen uranium na sentima Na kosuka wapi na bolingo Ah mama étoile d'état apeti nanga yo 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 doto nanga ikiasa su apeti nanga yo 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 Simba, simba, simba nga chéri Simba molingo ekatani Toko me kitana distance Shaka banda la shempa prise Tuwa etango esa linga swa Tuwa ya midie lambuke Toto mo bimba eninganie Kasi kura ebetingate Ekatana Pasuka toninye Eloko pema Eloko pema wawa Eloko pema Eloko pema wa Ikiasa suyo ngomba Étoile d'état Simba, simba, simba nga chéri Simba molingo ekatani Toko mo kitana distance Shanga banda la shempa quiz Tuwa etango esa linga swa Tuwa ya midie la muke Toto mo bima eninganie Kasi kura ebetingate Ekatana Pasuka toninye Eloko pema Eloko pema wawa Eloko pema Eloko pema wawa Les 27 ans
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you again. Mwanzo Music. Thank you for entertaining us this afternoon. Welcome, all of us, to day 8, the afternoon session of our orientation program, Egerton University 2020-2021 academic year, freshmen and women. Welcome once again to the afternoon session. Before we embark on the afternoon session, we are going to ask all of us to get ready for our national anthems, all the anthems, national, East African, and Egerton anthem. Then we will have a prayer from Mr. Omoyo. So are we ready? Can we all stand up ready for the national anthem to start us off for the afternoon session?
Ushirikiano na haki kwa wote, elimu hakika, tunapata ujuzi wa maendeleo ya kimataifa. Egerton, chuo chetu cha hakika, kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton, chuo chetu cha hakika. In our varsity is set to achieve great opportunities to research and transforming lives through quality education. Egerton University we are, kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton, chuo chetu cha hakika.
Father, we are thankful this afternoon that you've made it possible for us to gather here for the afternoon session. Father, we ask for strength from you and wisdom for us to be able to go through this afternoon. For our freshmen and women, in a special way, we commit them to your hands for blessings, Heavenly Father, and guidance. Forgive us our sins and provide for our needs. Give us the strength that we need, and may your will be done today and throughout our lifetime. For we ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you for the anthems and the prayer. This afternoon, we have lined for you very, very important topics for you to listen. And we are all expected to be logged in, all the freshmen and women, regardless of what faculty you come from or you have been admitted. So before we do that, we just want to remind ourselves of what we have done since Monday this week. On Monday, we had Faculty of Science. The afternoon, we had Faculty of Commerce. Faculty of Law came in on Tuesday, together with the Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Yesterday, we had Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and Surgery, together with Institute of Women, Gender, and Development Studies. This morning, we had Faculty of Environment and Resources Development, FAD. So in case you missed and you have been admitted in any of those faculties that have already made presentations since Monday, don't be worried. The recordings are already uploaded to our website, which I'm going to just remind you in a short while. And you can listen so that you don't ask questions which you can actually find answers to uploaded on the website. So before we proceed, I would like to remind us how we can navigate and access information or ask questions or be part of this orientation. First, for general inquiries, you can send an email to selfcare@egerton.ac.ke. General inquiries, your questions will be addressed. Then, for all first year issues, the program, what is going on, we have a special website for the activities, and this website is firstyears.egerton.ac.ke. When you log into this website, you'll find all the information, all the past activities since the 18th, the recorded ones since the 18th. You'll get all the information, plus those activities that are remaining. Then, you can also like our Facebook page, Egerton University, Transforming Lives Through Quality Education. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Egerton University Official. Those who like to be on Zoom, you may find these details in that website that I have just read, firstyears.egerton.ac.ke. You will be able to access the details, the link of the Zoom and the password. You can also follow us on Twitter at Egerton Uni, Kenya. So you can see we have options, various options for the access. So if one fails, you can go to the other. Now, I would like to make some announcements which are very key so that you are reminded all the time. The first one is our Vice Chancellor's address. Egerton University Vice Chancellor will address us, all the freshmen and women, on Monday, 31st of August, 2020. Now, you may be asking, who is a Vice Chancellor? When you came from high school, you had a principal. Now, the principal of Egerton University is not a principal, is a Vice Chancellor, so you cannot miss this. So, stay tuned on Monday. The second announcement I would like to make is to remind you that interfaculty transfers will be opened after 31st. That is, you want to move from one faculty which you have been admitted to the other, starting 31st. That portal will be activated after 31st. So, keep an eye on that website of first years. You will find an icon after 31st that will be active for you to be able to proceed to apply for interfaculty transfer. We also have departmental meetings. On the same website, you will see an icon that indicates departmental meetings. So don't be in a hurry to go out of that website. There are many icons that you can touch. So one of them is departmental meetings. Now, here you'll find dates and times when you will be able to meet your departmental members of staff, and they will address your specific questions which you may have missed or you didn't get an opportunity to ask during the general orientation activities. Another very important concern that is coming in is some students have not completed their registration. Now, your registration will not be complete. First, you need to pay your fees, okay? Once you pay your fees, as indicated in your admission letter, then you go to that website that is for first years. I'll repeat, firstyears.egerton.ac.ke. Once you access that website, you register. The next thing, after you have registered, you create an account, your own account. There will be instructions there on how to create an account. Then, after that, there will be instructions asking you to input your email address. Now, this email address should be that email address which you provided in the beginning. Don't change If you used your mother's or your father's email address or your sister's, use the same one. Don't change that given time when you are completing your registration. Then after that, all the information you might require will be sent, will be communicated to you via that email address. Now, one more reminder of our mannerisms during this orientation time. We have today afternoon, we have tomorrow Friday, and we have Monday. On our website of first years, we have uploaded the etiquette. Etiquette is how to behave, how to talk, how to write, how to respond to questions. You make sure you read through it. And this is why I am reminding you, during question time, many of us are posting information or sharing information that shouldn't be shared during that time, because at the time when we are running live, your private chats and your private information should not be put into the public, and don't post unpleasantries. You need just to post the questions so that they can be identified and addressed. So read that virtual orientation etiquette. We also have our rules and regulations. You know, you are now Egerton University students. So you go and also download the rules and regulations, begin studying those questions, the rules and regulations, so that you get used to how Egerton University runs. We also have the student's handbook. Some of the issues and some of the departments that addressed you, the details can also be found in the student's handbook. So those two books, the rules and regulations and the student's handbook, will help you to navigate within Egerton University. Now, with that, I would like now to invite the afternoon session speakers. And as I said from the beginning, it's a very, very important session we are having this afternoon. First, we shall have what we call ARMS, Academic Records Management System. And this is going to be presented by our Information and Communication Technology team, the Egerton University ICT team. ARMS is very key because once you have been admitted and you have paid your fees and you now want to be known that you are here, all your information about how you're doing, whether you have paid fees, whether you can go do exams, all those details. It's very important, so you pay attention. They are going to have a demonstration, so don't be tired. Then we shall have the Directorate of School of Distance Learning, and then we will have questions for the Directorate of School of Open and Distant Learning. Then at the end, to end this afternoon, we shall have examinations and timetabling. So stay put. You can see the three lined up topics and speakers is very key for your survival at the university as a student, because that is why you are here. So we welcome you and pay attention. So I would like now to usher in the ICT team to come and demonstrate how you will navigate. Welcome and pay attention.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, first years. My name is Lillian Wati from ICT department. I'm here to take you through the academic records management system. I'm sure you've been hearing ARMS, Academic Records Management System, and maybe most of you don't have an idea what it is. So that's why I'm here today to take you through this. And as a student, this is what you're going to use most of the time when you're in the university. This is what you're going to use to access most of the services that you need. So I'm going to present about the Students Portal, which is part of ARMS. So what is the Student Portal? The Student Portal is an online platform where students can log into the ARMS system and access university services related to the academic records. And as you know, you've been hearing about ARMS. ARMS is just the short name for the Academic Records Management System. This system is used to manage all your records, and your records start from admissions all the way up to the time you graduate from the university. So this is very key for you because this is what you're going to interact with on a day-to-day basis on all your services that you need from the university. So the URL for the Students Portal is studentsportal.egerton.ac.ke. This session, I hope that you can be able to also access, as I take you through, it's going to be a demo. So as I take you through it, I hope that you can also be able to access that portal and go through as we interact. So some of the services that are available in the ARMS or through the Student Portal is, number one, your profile. You can be able to have a look at your profile, your details like the program you are in, your names, your account details like contact details, phone numbers, emails. You can be able to manage your password to your portal. You can be able to view your fee statement. You can be able to view your fee structure. You can be able to do registration, that is finance, units, and accommodation. You can be able to print your exam cards. You can be able to do the semester. You can be able to view your semester results and your provisional transcripts from the Student Portal. You can be able to do the deferment applications if you want to defer your studies. You can also be able to do the interfaculty. As we've been told, from 31st, you can start doing the interfaculty transfer. So you can be able to do your application through the Students Portal. You can be able to also check your timetable. You can download your timetable from the ARMS portal. You can be able to do room booking. For now, as a first year, you're not going to book the rooms, but as a continuing student from year 2, you'll be able to book your rooms from the ARMS portal. You're also going to do your graduation application through the ARMS portal. So as you can see, this is very key for you to be able to understand how to access these ARMS and how to use these ARMS. So we are going straight now to accessing ARMS. First of all, I hope that you have all registered through the first year's website that you had been told. Once you have registered and you've uploaded your document, it will go through the admission process and you get admitted into the system. Once you get admitted into the system is when you can be able to access this Students Portal. Without that, you cannot be able to access the Student Portal. So how do you access the Student Portal? The URL, as I told you before, studentportal.egerton.ac.ke. You just type it on your web browser. Even through your phone, you can be able to access it through your phone. You can just type that on your phone or through a web browser. Studentportal.egerton.ac.ke. It should bring that page that you can be able to see there. That is the login page. So in the login page, you can be able to log in with your admission number. I hope all of you do know what your admission number is. So you should log in with the admission number, and remember, it has to be in caps. So you have to log in with your capital letters. So by default, as a first year, when you log into the portal, your admission number is still your password. So you copy the same admission number to the password, and then you can be able to log in. As a first year, if you try to log in and you are unable to log in, it means you have not been admitted into the system. That means you're not a bona fide student of the university. So you have to ensure that you have uploaded your documents, they have been verified, so that you can get admitted into the ARMS system. So once you've logged in, once you've logged in, you can now be able to view your profile. You can be able to see the modules that you can be able to interact with, the ones that I mentioned before, like your results, your profile, your fee statement, exam cards, and all that. And then in the middle, we have your account details. That is where you'll be able to see your name, your registration number, your gender, date of birth. And then at this juncture, you can be able to change your password. So by default, all first years are able to log into the portal with their student numbers. But once you log in, please change your password. Put the current password, which is your student number, and then you input your new password, confirm, and then you save. That way you'll be able to change the password. If you forget your password, at the point of logging in, there's an arrow there for forgot password. So at that point of forgot password, you can click on it, and it will ask you to input your registration number, and then you submit. Then the system will automatically change your password, and that is if you have provided your email address. So you check to make sure that you have an email address, and then for first years, by default, we are going to provide for you with university email addresses. So when you've logged in, you can be able to check under, there's another tab for contacts that has your details. So we are going to provide with you with the official email addresses. So under contacts, you will check later on, and then you'll be able to see what your email address is. Once you get your email address, you can log in using the Google or Gmail platform, and the password is normally, for the first years, it's going to be Egerton 2019. So you pick your official email address, and then you go to the Google platform, and then you can be able to log in and access your official email. So the other tab is the academic, the one that has your details, your program, your faculty. There might be some of you who don't know what the faculties are. So here you can be able to check your details of your academic details, like your program, faculty, the level, is it a bachelor's degree that you're doing, and then the campus, and your admission year, and your cohort. This is very important. It will also help you in dealing with some issues at the university. So the next tab is the general tab, which has details like your religion, your marital status, and your status if you're continuing, or you have a different status, maybe you've deferred studies and all that. So that is basically about your student profile and how to be able to deal with that. And then you can also, up there's a button for edit profile. When you click on edit profile, you can be able to change details like your date of birth. If it's wrong, you can be able to input the correct date of birth. And then under contacts, you can be able to input your secondary email address and your secondary phone number. So sometimes maybe you might have provided your first number could have been your parents' or guardian's number. So once you get your number, you can come and update it under phone 2. So then next, you can be able to now, after you've logged in now, you can be able to check your fee statement to see what the amount that you've paid. So when you go to my fee statement, it's on the left. You click on my fee statement. It will indicate all your fees transactions. That is all the amount that you have paid and any invoices that the university has sent to you. So here, if maybe you don't see a particular amount that you had paid and you are sure you had paid that amount, then you can contact Student Finance for them to verify your details. And then you can be able to also check your fee structure. When you go to admission letters, they had indicated there the amount of fee that you're supposed to pay. But when you log into the portal again, you can be able to see your fee structure from year 1 up to the final year. So right now we are in the academic year 2020-2021. So you just select the academic year, and then it will populate the total amount of fee that you're supposed to pay for every semester. Yeah, so you can be able to see for semester 1, for semester 2, in year 1, and then you can progress upwardly up to year 4. And then next, after you have studied and you've done your exams, you can still be able to check your results. You click on semester results on the left. So the module on the left is the one that will guide you on all the services that you can be able to access. So you click, you always check what you want to view from the left. So on the left you have semester results. You click on semester results, and then you have to filter by period. You want to view your year 1 results or year 2 results and all that. So as a first year, because you haven't done any exams, when you click on it, it will be empty. Once you do the exams, when you click on it, you should be able to see if you've passed or if you've failed. So that is usually just normal pass or fail. And then next, the provisional transcripts. You can also be able to view your transcript, and you can also download them or print them. So on the left menu, you click on year-end results. Once you click on year-end results, you can be able to view your first year results and progressively till you finish your 4th year exams. So currently for the first years, if you click on that, you'll find it is empty. But once you do the exams and the exams are processed in the system, you can be able to see your results. So now I want to take you through a very important step here that will enable you access most of the services in the university. Without this step, you are not able to access most of the services. So this is the registration. I want to take you through registration. So for you to be a bona fide student, for you to access most of the services, again in the ARMS system, you must register. Registering means you have paid fees, you have booked for units, and you have maybe a room if you're a resident. So the number 1 step that you need to do is to do finance registration. Okay? This is very important. Without this, you won't even be able to do the exams. You won't be able to access most of the services at the university. So once you've been admitted, log into your system, you go and do finance registration. This is to indicate that you have paid the fees and you are ready to start learning. Without this step, you cannot be able to access any other services. So you do finance registration. After you have done finance registration, I'll take you through that. Then you do unit registration, which is just unit booking. You have to indicate or book the units that you're supposed to do for the semester. And then after you've done that, you can do accommodation registration. Since you're not on campus, this accommodation registration will not be done for now until you report on campus after maybe the COVID-19 issues have been dealt with. So for now, we are going to now go through the registration process. We start with finance registration. So this can only be done if you have paid all the fees. Without all the fees, you cannot register with finance. And without registering with finance, that means you cannot access university facilities or services. So you go to finance registration. You go to finance registration on the left of your menu. Click on finance registration. Once you click on finance registration, the system will populate the invoice or the amount of money you're supposed to pay for that academic year. So currently we are in 2020-2021 academic year. For those of you most of you will be under semester 1, and then some of you will be under term 1. So you scroll down, it will indicate your total fees that you're supposed to pay, the required minimum that you're supposed to be having, and then the account balance that you have. Then there's a button for register. There's a button for you to register. So you click on it. You click on register, and then the system will indicate if your fee balance, your minimum balance, and the invoice, at least they do match, or you have the exact amount or more than what you are required to pay, the system will allow you to register. Once you click on registration, it will register you, and you'll be registered with finance. If you don't have enough balance in your account, then you'll get an error because registration with a balance is normally not allowed. So after you've done finance registration, you must, when you look back, you should be able to see the portal says registered. Under finance registration, you should be able to see, it should say registered. If it doesn't say registered, it means you haven't registered. Then next we do unit booking. So units are to be booked for the program that you are undertaking. So a student must have done finance registration for you to access unit registration. So if you go to unit registration without doing finance, you will not be able to proceed. So you must start with finance, and then you go to now units, and then you book your units. And we book our units by just confirming. The system will automatically populate units for you that you're supposed to do. So I believe during the orientations, or maybe you might have some more orientation on guiding on what units you're supposed to be doing. So once you get a list of all the units that you're supposed to be doing is when you can do the unit registration. We shall set in the system the time when you start and the time when it ends. And also just to remind you, also with finance registration, you're supposed to register within a few days of opening. So you'll be guided, you'll be told on the deadline when you're supposed to have done finance. After the deadline passes, the portal will close. Once the portal closes, you cannot be able to register again, so you'll be forced to defer your studies. So make sure that you pay your fees in time, you register in time. Without that, you'll be forced to, and maybe you might have already paid your fees, but you didn't do the registration. So be on the keen, start with finance registration, then go and book the units after you've confirmed with your department on the units that you're supposed to be doing for this semester. So for you to do unit registration, on the left, again, there's a place for unit registration. You click on it. You click on unit registration. Then you'll be able to see units populated there for you. So if you click inside under select unit, you'll be able to see a list of units you're supposed to do. And the units will be populated downward. So if the unit that is missing down, you can just check inside that drop-down menu. You select that unit, you click, you select the unit, then you click book unit, and then the unit will be populated downwards. So when the unit is populated down, you must be able to confirm the unit. You have to click on confirm for you to confirm that you are doing the unit. Once you confirm, you should be able to see a green tick. When you see a green tick, it means that unit has been confirmed. If there's a unit that is listed there and you have been told that you're not doing that unit, then you must remove that unit. If you don't remove it, it might remain there in the portal, and then by default, when registration is processed, the system assumes that the units that were listed there in the catalog are the ones that you are supposed to do, and they might be processed, all of them. So if there's a unit that is listed that you're not supposed to do, just remove it, and then you confirm a unit that you're supposed to do. If you remove a unit by mistake, and yet you're supposed to do it, you just go back to the drop-down menu, you look for that unit, you book it again, and then you confirm. And then you should note that once you confirm a unit, you cannot undo it. So you have to be very careful on the units that you're supposed to do. Because once you confirm, you cannot undo it, you'll have to visit your faculty, or you have to contact your faculty for the unit to be removed. So you have to be sure first that these are the units that you're supposed to do, and then you confirm or you book them. So after you've confirmed, you have to make sure that you have a green tick and you don't have a checkbox open yet. So that with the green tick, it means you have confirmed the units. And then next, we have something else called specialization or subject combinations or majors or minors. Some of you are doing programs that you are required to select your combination or a specialization at the beginning of first year. Others, you might have to select your specialization at the third year or fourth year, depending on how it has been set. So for programs like S13, you might be required to select your combinations maybe from year 1, whereby you indicate the subject combination that you're going to do. ARMS portal before you book. So how do you do that? Still on your portal, on the left, there is My Specialization. My Specialization. So you go there, and then there's a drop-down for specialization. You'll be able to see the specializations under it. You select it. And then majors and minors, it will also indicate there your major and minor combination. You select major only, or major and minor, or major and major, and then you save your specialization. So you can do it under My Specialization, or when you go to book your units and your program requires specialization, the system will prompt you to set your specialization. So this is not for everyone, it's just for a few programs that have subject combinations or specializations. And then next, after you've done unit registration, then you're supposed to do accommodation registration. So how do you do accommodation registration? For resident students, like for first years, you've been told, most of you, I don't know if it's a must, but I think it's a must for you to stay inside the university. You will not book the rooms, but you'll be allocated the rooms. The rooms are normally reserved for the first years, but I don't know if you've been informed by the accommodation, but most of you will reside in the university. So the accommodation or the hostels department will allocate you rooms in the system. So once you've been allocated a room, then you go to the portal and then you click on accommodation registration. You should be able to see your details and then book the room. Register in the system. For non-residents or those who are not accommodated in the university, you also still have to register, but you have to register as a non-resident in the system. So how do you do accommodation registration? Go to your portal on the left, you have accom registration. You click on it. It will populate. If you have been allocated a room, the system will populate your room details. So you'll be able to see your room number, the amount or the charges that you've been charged, your accommodation balance, and then down there there's a button for register. For the non-residents, they will register as non-residents. But for now, this case, in the accommodation, don't register first until when you report back on campus is when you'll be allocated the rooms, and then you can be able to register later on. So those are the 3 major registration processes that you must do in the system for you to be able to access most of the services. If you don't book the units, you won't be able to see your results, you won't be able to see your transcripts, you might not even be able to do the exams. If you don't register with finance, you won't even be able to do the exam. So you have to do the 3 registrations, which is very important for you. So next is exam cards. We normally generate exam cards from your portal. You are supposed to print your exam card and present it during examination. So you must have registered with finance, you must have booked units for you to be able to print your exam card. If you don't do that, you can't be able to access your exam card. When you go to your portal, you'll get an error. Also, you must have complied with finance, you must have paid the full fees as required. You have a balance at the university. If you have a balance still, you cannot be able to generate your exam card. So how do you print your exam card? On your portal, on the left, we have My Exam Card. So go to your portal, click on My Exam Card. You're able to see the academic year in which you'll be printing the exam card, the session, if the card is processed or not, and if you have complied or not. Or not. So if you have not complied, that means you have not certified finance that you've paid all the fees. You'll find there it will be written no. If your card has not been processed, maybe you have not booked units, you'll also still be able to see card processed will be no. So it must say yes to both of them for you to be able to print exam card. So you can click on print exam card. Click on exam card will be with all the units that you booked. So if you haven't booked any unit, you won't print your exam card. And if you booked less units than what you're supposed to do, some of them will be missing. If you booked wrong units, that means you'll have registered for the wrong units that you're not doing. So all the units will be listed there. So that is it to the exam cards. Then next, we are going through the deferment. How do you defer your studies? Maybe you have a problem and you're not able to study for a particular academic year. Yes, you've been admitted, but maybe due to one reason or another, that maybe will certify the university you don't have, or you're not able to study for that academic year. So you can also still be able to defer your study portal. And please note that when you're deferring, you must indicate a reason, or you have to write a letter of deferment in the portal and attach supporting documents, if there are any, for you to submit your deferment. So how do you apply for deferment in the portal? On the left, you click on deferment. On the left of your portal, you click on deferment. Then you will see no records found, but up there's a button for apply. So you have to click on apply for it to be able to populate for you a page to apply for deferment. So once there, you indicate the year in which you are deferring from. So currently we are in 2020-2021. So if you want to defer from this 2020-2021 year, academic 2020-2021, semester, we are in semester 1, you click on semester 1, and then report back. You are allowed to defer only one academic year at a time. So you cannot defer for 2 years concurrently. So you have to apply 1 year each, and then you can defer up to 2 years. So that means you have to apply for 1 year first. So you click on the next academic year that you're supposed to report back. So that will be 2021-2022. And then the semester will be the same semester because you will not have studied in semester 1, so you have to come back in semester 1. So you click on semester 1, and then you your letter there. In that space provided, you input or you write your letter and your reasons why you want to defer your studies. If you have supporting documents, you attach, and then down there's a button for submitting. You click on submit. So once you submit, you can be able to monitor your approval status on the portal. You can be able to monitor your approval status on the portal, whereby you can be able to see if the deferment has been approved or not. Once it's approved, you'll see the green bar under progress with the status approved. And if you click on edit, there's an edit button there on the right. If you click on the edit, you can be able to see details, or your chair of department has approved. Then dean approval, you can be able to see if the dean has approved and if the registrar has approved. So once it is fully approved with the registrar, it means your deferment has gone through, and admissions will generate a letter for you, a deferment letter for you. Okay, next, how faculty transfer in the portal. So interfaculty transfer allows students to change their course or program after joining a university. Maybe you are admitted to do Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, but maybe you feel like you don't have the capacity to do it, or maybe for one reason or another one, you're not able to do your course that you're admitted to do by COOPS. So you're allowed during a particular period of time, like you've been told, from 31st, and it usually lasts for, I think, 2 weeks. So you'll be allowed to do the interfaculty during that set period, from 31st up to the last day that will have been set. So it must be done within the set dates after reporting on first year. And then you also must pay for the interfaculty transfer charges. You'll be notified on how much you're supposed to pay for you to apply for the interfaculty. So what are the steps for interfaculty transfer? Number one, you have to, on your portal, you have to click on interfaculty. You input your COOPS portal index, you input your index number and your COOPS portal password. This is very important because we have to verify if you qualify with COOPS first. You cannot be transferred to a program that COOPS has not approved that you qualify. So you must provide your index number and your COOPS password for us to verify through your portal if you qualify for that program that you're applying for. If you don't provide for this and you're not able to verify, then your application will not go through. And then we have the examination. For now it is the KCSE, so you select your examination, which is the KCSE. Then your mean grade. What is your mean grade? What did you get? So you select your mean grade. Then aggregate points. What were your aggregate points? So if it's B, they range from 60 to the one that is indicated there. And then your examination year. When did you do your KCSE? So most of you did the KCSE in 2019. If you didn't do your KCSE in this 2019, then you have to indicate the examination year when you did your KCSE. And then next, now you move to the subjects. You start inputting grades for your subjects. So you can start with the common ones like English. You pick your subject, the one that you did. What grade did you score? And then you click on the add button. You select another subject that you did. You indicate your grade, can be A minus, B plus, and all that. You indicate, and then you add. There's an add button there that you'll be able to add there. You'll be able to add all those units or all those subjects that you did. So once you've added all those subjects, when you scroll down, there's a submit button. Sorry, you must upload your result slip for you to be able to complete your examination, your application successfully. So please upload your result slip because this is what you are going to use to verify what you've input. So make sure you input the correct details. We'll also still be able to verify with what is there in COOPS. So just input your correct details and then you submit your application. You submit your transfer. It's called qualification. The first tab is qualification. So we are starting with qualification. Then we move to the next tab, which is interfaculty transfer now. You want to now select what you are doing. So in the first tab, you must submit first for you to proceed to the next tab. If you don't submit, you won't be able to access the second tab. So once you submit, then you move to the next tab, whereby you select now the program that you are interested in. So you have to select the program that you're interested in. So in the drop-down, there's a list of all the programs that are there. So you click on a program like, let's click on Law, L11. So the system will check what are the cluster subjects for law, what are the minimum requirements, and what are your clusters. Then it will also tell you if you qualify or you don't qualify. But even if you don't qualify, it will still allow you to proceed ahead. But remember, you have up to 2 subjects that you can choose from. So you are allowed to pick 2 subjects. So the system will guide you. If you don't qualify, it will indicate there you don't qualify for law. Like this student here does not qualify for law. So they can choose to pick another subject that they qualify. And you can pick one subject, you can pick, one program, or you can add 2 programs if you're not sure about the first program, because there are a number of things that the university checks for you to be admitted into that program or to be transferred to that program. So you are given 2 chances, or you are given 2 chances to pick 2 programs from, so that we will use the first program to process your application. If you do not qualify for that first program, or maybe a reason or another, you cannot be admitted to that program, maybe because of capacity, then the second program can be considered now for your application. So after you've selected that first program, you input your reasons to transfer. Why do you want to transfer to that program? So like here we have picked that is E13, that is Bachelor of Education Arts. So this student qualifies for the E13. The system has said qualified. Then you indicate your reason why you want to transfer to that program, and then you add the program. So the program should appear down there after you've clicked on add. You should be able to see your program down there. Then you have now an option of adding a new program. You have up to 2 chances or 2 programs to pick from. So the first one is the one that is the priority. So make sure that your program number 1 is what you really want. Then program number 2 should be, in case you don't get program number 1, which other program will you want to transfer to? But if you're just sure about your first program, you don't have to select the second program. So you select that, you add, and then make sure you have attached you add your program so that you can see your programs listed down there. Make sure that you have attached your result slip. So once you've done that, then you submit your application. Okay? So that is how to do the interfaculty transfer. So the first tab, you input your qualifications. What did you get in KCSE? You input that, you attach your result slip, then you submit. Then you move to the next tab of the program that you want to transfer to. You select that program that you want to transfer to. The system will guide you if you qualify or not. You add the program, and then you submit the application. So this will be open from 31st. So you can be able to monitor your status. There's a 3rd tab of application status. So once you've submitted your application, it will go through approvals. It will go through different approvals. Then you can be able to monitor your status there under application status to see if your application for transfer has been approved or not. Once it is approved, admissions will send you a letter to indicate that you have transferred with the new number that you're supposed to now use. Once your transfer is successful, you must log in now to the portal with the new number that you'll have transferred to. So you'll get a letter from admissions about your successful application, and then you can now use the new number to log in to your portal. So that is it with the interfaculty transfer. And then next, we have the timetable. You can be able to download your timetable from your portal. On the left, you just click My Timetable. Click My Timetable. Select the academic year. Right now, we are in 2020-2021, semester 1. For those who are doing medicine or veterinary and surgery, please, you have to select term 1, you'll be in term 1. And then timetable type, it's lecturing. And then there's a PDF of your timetable there. You just download or view your timetable. You can be able to save it for your use. Then next we have room booking. This one you'll do it in the next academic year, booking of the rooms on the portal. So this is done by continuing students who hope to get accommodation within the university. So note that the first years are usually allocated rooms upon or as they report during registration. So in second year, when you come back, before you come back, you'll be required to book your rooms online. So how do you do it? On your portal, go on the left, there's accommodation. Click on accommodation. So currently, we don't have any booking active for anyone to book. So when you click on accommodation, normally it will bring a place for you to book. It will bring a place for you to select your rooms or your hostel. So the first tab is the room booking. It will indicate how or which rooms you can be able to book and the amount. The second tab normally shows vacancy information, which rooms are empty, or which rooms are available for booking. And the third tab of history shows the rooms that you've stayed in. So as a first year, your history will be empty, you won't be able to see any rooms, but as you progress, you can be able to see history of the rooms that you've been staying in. So in this first tab is where it's very important. So make sure that you have a room in mind that you want to stay. In your first year of study, you'll have learned about all the rooms in the university. So when you come now in second year, when you want to book your room, you should be able to know your hostel. So you click and select your hostel. You should be able to know your block. Click and select your block. You should be able to know your room type. Is it a triple room, double, single? You'll be able to know that, or quadruple. And then the room, is it room number 1, room number 2? Then once you select on the room, you'll be able to select the bed. Which bed do you want? In room number 1, we have maybe, if it's a double room, in room number 1, we have 2 beds. Bed 1 or bed 2. So you have to select up to the bed. Then the system will populate the rates, how much money are you supposed to pay, and then you click on book. Okay? So that is how to book a room. It's very simple. You must know your hostel, your block, the block that you want to be in, the room type, and then the room. If you find that a room has already been booked, you won't be able to see it there on the list. If a room is fully booked, like room 1 is fully booked, when you go to rooms, you won't see room 1. You'll see maybe room 2. So once you find room 1 is not there, don't waste more time. Look for another room that you can be able to book. So this normally is usually very, it's a very simple process, but now you'll find all the students will be logged in at that time. So you have to be very fast to book for your room, the one that you really wanted, if you want to really get it, so that it doesn't go to another person. Then next, I'll take you through graduation application. For you, when you want to graduate, you'll still be required to apply in the system. First of all, you must apply for finance clearance, and then you apply for graduation. So how do you do finance clearance? Application for clearance. On your portal, on the left, we have clearance application. You click on clearance application. Then there's a button up there for apply. You click on apply. Once you click on apply, then you can be able to do finance normal clearance if you don't have another application already in process. So then you'll see a button for continue. You click on continue. Once you click on continue, then you input the type of clearance, which is just finance clearance. You input your comments about the clearance, if you have any comments, and then you submit your application. It's simple. And you can also still be able to monitor if your application has been approved or not. So you can monitor your application to see if it has been approved or not. Once it's approved, you can be able to now move to graduation application. Once it has been approved, now you can go and apply for graduation. So when you go to apply for graduation, you might get errors. Maybe you've not been classified, you'll get that kind of an error. Or maybe you've not done clearance, you'll get that kind of an error that you've not done clearance with finance. So you can't proceed until you clear with finance and you have all your marks in your portal. So on the left, you click on graduation, application. This is how it looks like. Once you've complied with all that, you can be able to now apply for graduation. The first tab is your information, your full names as the way you like it to appear in your certificate. Please, this is very important. You must input your full names as you like it to appear in your certificate. And then you have to indicate if you plan to attend or not. There's a button there. Do you plan to attend? You indicate yes or no. Then I do agree with the information. So you must tick that you agree with the information that is true and accurate. So please note that the information cannot be altered after submitting the application. So then you move to the next tab of contacts. So this next tab of contacts, you indicate your contacts, postal address, your telephone number, maybe after your stay in campus, your number changed and all that, your email. So indicate all your contacts. By default, it will indicate what you had provided before, but you have the ability to change here with your contacts. Then input your invited guests. Who are you inviting for graduation? So input your invited guests, and you can also be able to print the cards for them. And then next you have the dates and items. You'll be given graduation gowns. So the system will indicate when you are supposed to return those gowns, if you've been assigned any gown. And then the event when the graduation will be, and when registration starts and ends. And then next you go to banking information. How much money were you billed? How much money are you supposed to pay for graduation, and have you paid for it or not? So you're able to see that you paid. And then banking information. You have to input your bank information for the caution money refund to be sent to. So make sure that the details that you're providing are very correct, because once you submit, you cannot undo it. So indicate correct details of your bank details, and then attach documents. This is a must. You must attach your bank ATM card copy, or the bank card that normally indicates your bank number and name, account number and name, and then your national ID card copy. You must also attach your copy of your national ID card. And then after you've done that, then you submit your application. Down there, there's a button for submitting, so you submit your application. Then you are done with graduation. So there are other modules there in the system, like financial aid, peer counseling, pre-registration, and you'll be given updates as time comes on how you'll be able to use the modules. So if you need help, any ICT help that you need from the portal, or any ICT help that you need, we have the email addresses for every faculty that you can send your concerns to. So the email addresses are projected there. For Faculty of Education, you email to ict.fedcos@egerton.ac.ke. We'll share all the emails in the first year's website. So don't worry, we'll share the emails there. So if you have any difficulties on your portal, please go and identify an email address of your faculty for ICT, and then email your concern there, then we will assist you. And so that is the end. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ICT. You realize now there is a lot of information that you have been given a brief about. You will need to practice that information. You may not be able to do it right away, but it was very important that ICT comes in and explains, because most of your activities will be online, so do not be bored. Today was, I told you, this afternoon was very important. You can see you may not be able to navigate within the university and even with your academic requirements if you don't follow. So just remember, every faculty which you have been admitted to has got an ICT support center, which you begin ICT, then you abbreviate your faculty, then at egerton.ac.ke every time you have a question. So now, we would like to just change our program briefly. We may not have examinations today. We want to have the continuity of technology. Now we want to go straight to School of Distant Learning. And here we have a director who is going to introduce the team that is going to demonstrate to you how e-learning is taking place. Remember, you will start learning next week online. So it is very key. So if you are seated somewhere, can you stretch yourselves as I usher in? Stand up and stretch yourself, because you are going to be seated there for a while, because learning begins next week and it is e-learning, and here we have the e-learning team. So I want to introduce the director, School of Distant Learning, and the e-learning team. Welcome.
I'm Professor Ezra Maritim, the director of the School of Distant Learning of Egerton University. Welcome first years to Egerton University, and in particular to the School of Distant Learning. You might not know what distant learning is all about, but I'll let you know and I'll take you through what distant learning is about. When you are in high school, you're familiar with a situation whereby the teacher came, or different teachers came at different times to your classroom to teach you different subjects. In that situation, you are in a physical classroom for the teachers to be able to come physically and face you in teaching. That's not the case in distant learning. Distant learning is a situation whereby the learning takes place in a situation where the teacher and the learner are not in the same place, as it was the case in your classroom situation. The student and the tutor are separated by time and distance. There could be mountains between where the learner is and where the teacher is. There could be an ocean. There could be a lake. But still the two must interact somehow in learning or in teaching. That is what distant learning is about. A situation whereby the teacher and the student are not in the same location and they are separated by distance and time. And for that particular situation, this is what we do in the School of Distant Learning. There are two units in the School of Distant Learning of Egerton University. We have one unit we call eCampus. I'll explain later what eCampus does. That is where you will physically interact, and that's where you will be in most of your studies. Then we have another unit which is called Military Science Unit. Again, this unit deals with distant learning, but in a different way, in an old version of distant learning. This Military Science Unit is for our soldiers from KDF. We teach them, they don't come to Egerton, but they are various places. They are in Sudan, they are in Somalia, but they still learn through Egerton University, through distant learning for that. We also teach our students in South Sudan. These are again soldiers in South Sudan. They don't come here for us, but we also teach them. Both the Sudan students and our KDF students, we prepare the material for them. and sent to them to learn while they are in camps or while in the bush. That is learning. We still teach them, but they are not here with us for that particular situation. The third unit is part-time students. And these are basically teachers, primary and secondary school teachers, who want to upgrade themselves by acquiring Bachelor of Education degree. In this situation, we have the material for them while they are away in the campus, but there are occasions when they come during the holiday to us, where we have face-to-face interaction, the way you were taught in the classroom in high school. Again, this is still distance because most of the time they are not here. They are away in their schools or in their homes, far away from Egerton University. But the learning is taking place wherever they are and for that particular situation. Now, the kind of distance learning we offer in Egerton is called blended distance learning, meaning while we provide you with the materials while you are away or in different locations, there comes a time also when we require you to come to campus to do certain courses that you can't do through distance learning. If you are a science student or science-based student, definitely you might wonder how will you be able to do practicals through distance learning. Yes, you will not be able to do practicals through distance learning. You can still watch how practicals are conducted through simulations and through demonstration by your tutor in a video form or in a YouTube form. You can still watch, but practicals means hands-on. So it means a situation will be created for you to come to campus, to go to the lab and do your practicals. But the rest of the other theoretical part of your course, you have done it through distance learning. I want to emphasize again the concept of distance learning. Was it something new to you? Distance learning has two components. There are two subsets, to put it that way, of distance learning. There is a subset called print-based. The print-based distance learning means the materials is produced in a print form, like in a book or a module, but printed module. And this is the situation for our students who are in the army, both in Kenya and in Sudan. We produce those materials because they go to the bush where there is no internet, there is no electricity, they have no laptops in those situations, therefore they carry their books to the bush, and therefore when they have time, they study. That is one subset of distance learning. Some say analog. It is the original approach. At one point it was called correspondence learning. Then the modern one, the modern subset of distance learning is the online learning. We also call it e-learning. The e-learning is the same thing as online learning. So when you hear online e-learning, you mean the same thing. It means then you learn through the use of technology, you learn through internet, and of course you must have connectivity wherever you are to be able to access. You can also use a phone, tablet, any other mobile technology can be able to be used for this. So those are the two subsets. For you, as first-year students of Egerton University, you will be learning through online learning approach, not print-based. You will be learning through online learning, which is something since the COVID-19 came in, you have been familiar with that because the Ministry of Education has used it for primary and secondary school. And I believe if you have a sister or brother in those subsectors, secondary or primary, you must have assisted your brother or sister to be able to access the different platforms, both from the Ministry of Education, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, or private sector in learning through this platform, which is online learning. Or it has also been possible for you to follow with your brother or sister the television programs, which again will be offered by the Ministry of Education through. All those are electronic mode of deliveries which are available for learning to continue. You realize that online learning is the only way of learning now, given the kind of situation globally. It is not something that we have an option about. We have no option to learn through this until we normalize. When you normalize, of course, we will be coming back to our campus, and definitely you will learn through both ways, because you will have been familiar with online, which we will have to provide you again with the online learning. At the same time, we will, of course, face-to-face, the way you have done it in high school, is still available or will be available when you resume for this situation. Now, the School of Distance Learning of Egerton has the mandate to coordinate all the deliveries of online courses of all the faculties of the university. That is a mandate. Our mandate is to coordinate the delivery, the preparation of online materials for students who are away, out of campus, and all the students who will be in campus. Like when you come back, we'll still continue in both ways. We'll call ourselves dual mode, meaning we still offer conventional approach, the traditional way, the way we have been always been taught in high school, and the online learning, which is a modern way globally. All countries are using that. So again, that's what we are going to be. So our college then, our school, offers then, provide the training for lecturers on developing content for you. The kind of materials you are going to interact with online has been developed through the School of Distance Learning. So we assist in training their tutors on content development and also on delivery. Because one thing to develop the content, but also in delivery. How do we deliver so that the learner who is not here is able to understand and interact with the material when he or she is away in the campus for that. Now, we also trained or induct students like you. While still away, we are going to organize a situation whereby we'll still train you or induct you on how to navigate the platform that you are going to use for learning. Because that's technology, that techniques you need, where to go, what to do, what kind of exercise, how do you return the assignments. All that require that we give you an induction. And that is a mandate of the school for that. Once you are in the platform, we also monitor. Once we have given you the right to access the materials that for you in any program that you are undertaking in Egerton, we also monitor how you are doing. Are you accessing? Are you learning? Or you have just been registered and you are nowhere, you are not learning. So that is one thing we do. We monitor how you are interacting with material. How long you have taken to study. Because the various modules or the courses which has been developed for you will also have duration on how long you should be able to be studying the materials that are there. So we monitor whether you are there, and we warn you that you are not studying. If we notice that you are only there for 5 minutes and you switch off, then we know you are not studying, because there is a duration that you are supposed to be in that particular situation. We also monitor how the lecturers are interacting with you. Is the lecturers replying the challenges you are facing? Because there is room for you to communicate to your lecturer to say, well, I have a challenge in understanding this concept, or I was late in submission. Whatever the challenge you have, you communicate to your lecturer. We also want to monitor how your lecturer is responding to you or giving you attention. Let me point out that there are two types of learners. There's a learner we call digital native. A digital native is a learner who was born in an environment where this learner had the computer, he had a laptop, desktop. There were all kinds of computer knowledge skills around in the family. So this is a native to technology. Then there is another learner where the majority of us are digital immigrants. We are just migrated into this technology and we have no choice. It has come, we have to be there. So which means we were not born. If you take an example like myself, when I was born, there were no computers. The closest machine I used was a typewriter. The typewriter was given when I graduated. And then I was told, so that you continue publishing papers, here is a typewriter. That was the only technology. So me and you and most of us, those who have grown up in Banyatas, we are teaching all migrants. But whatever type of students you are, whether you are digital native or digital immigrant, it doesn't make a difference to us in Egerton University. We'll take you through, we'll be able to get through the online learning. It doesn't matter As I say, whether you are digital native, which means you have grown up in an environment where you are familiar with technology, or you are a digital immigrant where technology is something new to you. We are all there, and we'll make you succeed in whichever category you are in terms of providing the necessary skills you have. You might ask one question: how do I succeed in an online environment? This is the first time, as a first-year student, you are exposed to this situation. The questions you might be asking: how will I succeed? My advice is, the first thing is you must have time for studies. The materials have been prepared by the lecturers and they have been put online. You will access them. What is remaining is for you to manage your time. Distance learning is student-centered learning. It is not controlled by the teacher. You control your learning. You discipline yourself to ensure that you have time for your studies. That is one secret of success in distance learning. Well, you might also wonder, even in high school, you are never taught even one course on computer literacy. You might be wondering, will I really succeed without any simple knowledge of a computer manipulation or navigation? Yes, you will succeed. What you only need is the attitude towards that technology that you are going to use. As I say, we'll induct you on how to use it, how to navigate it. The basic things is know the basic skills and where to go in order to get your course on. And you are on. You'll be through for that. So, do you need a laptop at home to be able to succeed? Well, yes, it could be very good. It is like a book. In an online learning, a basic tool is a laptop. We can say you can use your mobile, your father's mobile, or yours, or your sister, or your mom. But there could be some limitation. The screen is too small. Some you get very tired by reading through a small screen that ends, and then you read again. But you know, with a laptop, the screen is wider. You can, and the content you read more with that. So I could encourage you that ask your parents if they are able, can afford to get you a laptop. Laptop these days is come up to 28,000. You can get a good one for that. Because it's a tool. When you come back to university, you will be using the same tool. And therefore, if it is good that you acquire one, it can be very convenient for you and also for your learning. So again, I want to say thank you for choosing Egerton as your university of choice, and to continue your studies, to further your studies at Egerton University.
Jana usiku niliota ndoto Afrika nzima, kuliwaka moto. Jana usiku niliota ndoto Afrika nzima, kuliwaka moto. Jua ilinyesha, mvua nayo ikawaka, manabii walitafsiri siku hii na sio siri. Kama wewe unajipenda, mikono juu, kama umemea, sahau shida, kama umesota, leo tupige makelele.
Good afternoon, first-year students. Online. Here I am with the team from the School of Distance Learning, and I want to introduce them, and then one of them or two will carry out the demo. I want my team one by one. Professor Fred Keraro, who is coming, he wants to say hi to you. He's a coordinator for eCampus. That is where all the courses that you'll be taking are coordinated from. Fred?
Thank you. Good afternoon, students. You have heard my name is Professor Keraro, in charge of the eCampus. We prepare the content for you. We put it on the platform. We support your tutors and yourselves to study online. So you'll be meeting us quite often. We have staff, a number of staff in the eCampus, but those that I would like to introduce here now is Mr. McKinney. Mr. Daniel McKinney is in charge of learner support. This is the person you will be interacting with most of the time, should you have any problem. He will come and, well, you'll see his face, at least. And then from there, we shall give time to Mr. Kimani. Mr. Kimani will take you through how to start learning online. McKinney, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Keraro, for the opportunity to speak to our first-year students. My name is Daniel McKinney, as you've been told. I'm in charge of the learner and tutor support at the eCampus. We support learners to get comfortable in the online environment. Our work revolves around such mundane things as lost passwords, supporting you to enroll to your various courses. There are different things that happen in an online environment. The first one is registration. Just like you are registering as a student at Egerton University, we register you in our platform, e-learning platform. Thereafter, we shall enroll you in your respective courses. Once that happens, you'll begin learning. But should you encounter any problems, we are ready to assist you at all times. So what you do is that you need to be ready to be assisted. If you lose your password, for example, then you are outside the university. We may not be able to help you unless you write to us an email and explain. One thing that I would like to tell you before I leave this platform is do not be embarrassed to ask. And secondly, be very clear in your communication. Statements, for example, I have problems with my account, cannot get any response that is befitting. You have to say what the exact problem is. And that way, we shall be able to assist you. So in that regard, we are here for learner support. We ask you to contact us. My colleague, Mr. Kimani, is coming. He'll spend a little longer time to explain to you the things that you must do, how to log in, how to change your password, and how to get comfortable. So, thank you very much.
The next person now will take you through a demo is Mr. Kimani. He's in charge of ICT at eCampus. So welcome, Kimani. Introduce yourself and also carry out the demo.
Yes, Jose. Now, you've been through a lot of orientation stuff. You've been told about things that does happen here at campus. And we're still even going through the same even today. But what we're going to do now is now understand how learning will be happening. As long as we're in this COVID season, everything is virtual. So that's what I'm going to take you through. I'll be fairly slow. Okay, it's a bit detailed, but what we have done is we've developed a document that we will share with you. We call it a learner support document that is quite detailed on how to interact with the platform. So our colleagues from ICT took you through the various platforms that are there, like, let me use the word administrative processes, how to get to your student portal rather, as well as how to take care of paying your finances, as well as how you, once you have paid fees, all that process that they took you through. So after all that has happened, now that you have been through all the orientation, time to start. You had lectures are starting next week. So what we're going to do is we will be giving you your data, and then we're going to enroll you onto the learning platform. So they talked about a student portal. That is where you have to register for the courses that you're doing. There's also about your fee payment. All that is taken care of on that front. So once you're done with that end, now there's a learning platform that I'm going to talk about. So to access it, I hope someone can help with the presentation, because I'm running through a presentation that I hope you can be able to access it from your end. Yes, now I can see it. First and foremost, you need a machine. You need a machine that will help you access the platform. Well, some of your courses are a bit, should I say, text-based. There are some that probably will require programming, others will require practicals. Don't mind about that. But for such, that's why I'm saying, you can see there some requirement is a laptop or a desktop or a tablet. I know there are many who have mobile phones, and I can see quite a number of you are using them. It's still fine, it still works, but they have some limitations. If you can afford a laptop or a tablet, the better, or a desktop, the better. You also need to at least be having some computing skills. So that because you're going to be submitting assignments, you might be having some discussion, some interaction with your colleagues or with the lecturer. So at least some basic computing skills are very important. And of course, a working email address. That one, so far, I'm sure you have heard enough times that you have to send email addresses if you're having issues. So having an email address, and a good one of that, is very important. And of course, some internet connectivity. That one I don't need to say, because right now, you're already having it. That's where we're able to communicate. So how do we access this platform? To access this platform, there are two ways. You go through the university website, and there's a button there or a link, eCampus, so you will click on it. Alternatively, I would wish you can remember that first option, where you just type elearning.egerton.ac.ke. Just like you have to remember about studentportal.egerton.ac, then now this one is for learning purposes. So a lot of your learning will be taking place from this particular platform. Now, this platform is structured like this. I'll not go into the details. A lot of it is on the platform, is on the document that I shared or I mentioned to you earlier. But this is how it looks like. It has a login page that we are about to look at. And then it has my home. My home is where you'll be seeing your content. And then we have my profile there. My profile, that is a first activity that you'll be required to change your password. So I'm going to mention a bit about that. And then we have, we'll also see how a typical course looks like. So after you have registered, those courses that you have registered, when you get to the platform and you're looking at them, how do they look like? So that's how the login page looks like. So what we will do is, once we get your data, we're going to enroll you onto the platform and we're going to send you the login details that you require to change as soon as you access. That is now we're going to send you a username and a password because we have your details. Again, I'm going to give you some email address at the end that in case you don't get or you're having an issue logging in or interacting with the platform, we are readily available, as my colleague has said, to give you the necessary support. So the interface for logging in looks like that, as you can see it. And you can see the words in red there. If you write that address, elearning.egerton.ac.ke, you land on this page directly. Unlike the previous one, where you have to go through the university website, there are about 3 steps before you get here. If you can remember that address, just note it somewhere, such that you just type elearning.egerton.ac.ke, you hit enter, and you get here. Once you're able to log in, your landing page looks something like that. So you can see those red circles, they are all labeled. Now, the document that I am talking about, the learner support document, that is where I have extracted all this data from. Because I'm just highlighting, you will find more information explained. So you can see every section there that is labeled. The next page explains what it is. So you can see, for example, A, you can tell, has to do with some navigation. That is the menu. So you can see there we have the menu. This is the main navigation area. And then you can see B, we call that part or that section, we call it a notice board, and a public notice board for that matter. Within the platform, you will find another notice board that is specific for each and every course. And then we have a few other details, so I'm just going to do an overview of what the whole platform entails and just emphasize on certain key areas that I would really require you to pay attention. So, my home. Remember, I said here, my home, at the far left, it looks like this. Once you log in, it looks like that, and this is where, this is like your space. You see the way we talk of my inbox? This is it. So this is where we have a list of the courses that you're enrolled in. So you can see B has the course units that that particular student is enrolled in. And then at the section A, you can see, I don't know, you can be able to read, it is written, you have no unread messages. That is to say, a lecturer or your colleague can send you a message via the platform. So this is a platform that is all around. A lot of activities can happen from here. And then the rest is part C, where you can upload files such that those are files that maybe is an assignment that you're working on, you have not finished, so that you can upload. You can upload it here such that no one sees it. And if you have to travel, you can always come back to the platform and access it from here. Then part D is where you'll access everyone who is online. So that is what I have explained. My profile. So my profile, again, let me just touch on what I have said. You can see we have a subsection called My Profile. There is a way you can view the contents, and you can also, it is at this section where you're going to change your password at. So in My Profile, you get to see your details, and you can see the lower left submenu called Administration. If you're keen, you can see Change Password. That is the first exercise that you'll be required to do once you access the platform. The password that you change has to meet these conditions. So it has to be very secure, or it has to be a strong password. The platform will not allow you to come up with a password that is just simple. So the password that you're supposed to come up with, there's an example there, and you can see it has to have a combination of uppercase letters, lowercase, numbers, and special characters. Special characters are also referred to as non-alphanumeric, and they have to be at least 8. So there's an example there of a password that should look like. So that is a very fast activity that you will do once you gain access onto this platform. Please take time and write down a password that you know meets that condition, so that once you get to that particular point, you'll just change to the correct one. Again, if you're stuck, we're going to help you with this. So there's a lot of data on this also. So you can see there is that notification down there, that more details on this, there on the learner support document, that is also on the platform once you get in. So that's the first activity. Then the second one now is how do courses look like? How does the content that you're going to study look like? So what we are looking at there is an impression of how a course looks like. There are certain key features that have been indicated in red. Now, each of those is pointed out here. Again, there is a lot of details about them that is on the platform. Yes, it's on the platform and is on the document that I'm referring to constantly. So one, we have the name of the course. Like now you can see this one is called Theories of Family Development. So far, I'm sure you have attended orientation at your department, and you've been told that a course has a course code and now the course name. So that's how you can see at the very top, every course on the platform looks like this. So the first thing is the name of the course and a course code, and then an introduction for that course. And then now you can see part C. There is course 714 notice board. I mentioned earlier about a public notice board, and now this is now a localized notice board for this particular course unit. So the lecturer will keep sending you notifications. For example, he has posted an assignment or probably a document, or he's scheduling a session that you're going to meet probably for a chat session. On a particular day, he will post that notification at that particular point. So that is one place that you need to constantly check whenever you are accessing the course, either of the courses that you're enrolled in. Then we have part D. Part D is a preliminaries, course preliminaries. I would have wished to demonstrate how it looks like, because this is the section where you will find details of a lecturer. The name of a lecturer, an email address, or a phone number that you can reach if in case the content that you're reading, there are bits you're not understanding. That is not stuff that we can help you at eCampus. Now that one, there are issues to do with content. That one is only the lecturer who can help you. So the details for the lecturer, plus a little more other details on how to navigate through the platform, are located there at the preliminaries section. And then E and F is now where the subject matter content is all about. So you can see more details on the learner support document that is on the platform, and we're also going to share it on the same on the website that is firstyears.egerton. We will liaise with the organizers so that you can have it in advance. You start interacting with it. So you can see part E, there's topic details or activities. Yes, F is topic activities. This is a specific part where now you as a student is responding or interacting. That is, maybe I would use the word giving feedback to the lecturer in form of being able to respond to the questions that are there. So we have several sections. Again, all of them, they explained what they entail. You can see we have part A, those are the class activities. Those are part A and B, those are things that sometimes they're not meant for submission, but for your own self-review, you know, to test yourself whether you understand the concept that you've just studied in a particular topic. Then you can see part C is an assignment. These ones you're meant to submit. Again, on the document, the learner support document, there is more details on, first of all, how to access that assignment, how to submit the assignment, and to be sure that you have actually submitted the assignment. Then part D is a discussion forum, as you can see, the way it looks like on the platform. The discussion forum and the chat session are meant for interaction between you and the lecturer. For example, a lecturer can pose a question that requires you to research. So what happens is he will post the question there and require you to give you some time to research on it and submit your findings. And of course, you're submitting it in a manner that your colleagues will also see what you have submitted, because all this is for learning purposes, and then your lecturer will also see it and give you feedback on the same. Plus, now for the chat session, this one, the lecturer will organize a chat session that will have to be real time. So all of you will be on the platform with the lecturer and you'll be able to explain concepts, you'll be able to ask questions. It will be a session like we are having. Sometimes it will be text-based, sometimes the lecturer will organize through Zoom or any other video-based platform a session like we are having right now. So again, more details are there on that very document. I told you everything that I am presenting here, I have picked it from that very document. So how do you get to know your colleagues? So on that very platform, if I can go back a bit, you can see part A. On the very left, below course 714, you can see we have participants. So if you click on participants, you get a page that loads that looks like this. So this page is both for you to get to know who your colleagues are, as well as the lecturer. So here we are. So I want to focus a bit on that last column. You can see it shows the last access. So here we have a list of attendees or students who are enrolled onto this particular course, like you're going to be enrolled. So you can see it shows the last time you accessed the platform. Now, if you do not access the platform and specifically your course, the lecturer will be able to know that you're not attending class. Right? So it's good to make that clear as early as now, that you ought to be accessing the platform for learning purposes, because that is where now the class is. So you can see my students, they have been, the last one down there, there are very many. The last one was on the platform 6 hours ago. So topic activities, this is just an emphasis of this page. So you can see we have assignments down there, discussion forum and the chat. I'm finishing up. So these are key things that we need to take note of, that there is an assignment submission template on the platform. So whenever you're given assignment on the platform, once you gain access, you access the public notice board. One of the notifications is a template that you will need to append on your assignment before you submit. At least that is where you key in your name and you indicate the assignment that you're submitting, etc. Now, again, every assignment has a very strict timeline for submission. When that time lapses or that date lapses, you'll not be able to submit the assignment. I feel it's very important. I remind you that. Then the discussion forum, the lecturer will pose questions. I think I have mentioned that. So you're meant to research and submit your findings. And then there's a chat session. You can schedule your own chat sessions to discuss among yourself on concepts within the topic, as well as the lecturer can schedule one. But there is a caveat here. Please observe netiquette. Netiquette is the equivalent of etiquette. This is not where we use short forms, and it's not another WhatsApp. Yeah. So there is very important bit to take note there that this is a very formal tool for discussing matters, classwork. So whether you're chatting among yourself, please maintain that. So again, more of the same and the practical of the same. There's a lot of description on this and how it works on the learner support document. I want to post there for now and let you know that we are always available to support. We actually do support learning for the students that have been studying all along. So even you, we're also going to support you competently like we have done to the others. So there's an email address there that you can reach out to us. We even have a phone number in case you're having technical details to do with accessing the platform. We are very much available and willing to support you guys. So mko karibu sana, feel at home at Egerton. Thank you.
Thank you very much, School of Open and Distant Learning, for giving us a brief and explanation how we can access the learning platform, because we are all interested and eagerly waiting to start learning next week. Students, remember to take down the email address in case learning begins and you have trouble. E-learners support at egerton.ac.ke. You send an email there, you will be helped. So, I want to remind you about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have a change. You remember we just left out examinations. So examinations and timetabling department will begin our day tomorrow. First thing in the morning, starting 10:30. Then we'll have library. You can see we have come from talking general things, and now we are focusing on matters academic. So you need to concentrate and buy more bundles. Talk to your guardians and parents nicely so that they can add you bundles, especially for tomorrow, because you will have to again stay as long as today. So tomorrow is timetabling. You will learn now how you will navigate and how the timetable will be prepared for you to access your learning materials and meet your lecturers. So now, I think without further ado, we are glad that we have reached the end of today. It has been long, but very fruitful. I want to encourage you to log in again tomorrow by the grace of God, and we are starting at 10:30. So now we are going to have a prayer. First, we will pray. Then we will have the national anthem, East African anthem, and the Egerton anthem. But before that, next week, Monday, don't forget, we have the VC's address. The VC's address will be there in the morning. Interfaculty transfer portal will open on after Monday 31st. Departmental meetings are on. You check the website. Complete your registration. If you are unable to upload your documents, you follow that process. You register, you create the account, then input your email address, and information will be sent to you on how to complete that registration. So do not feel discouraged if you are not able to complete your registration. So now let me invite Madam Jane Ombura to come and pray, and then we will close with our anthems. Thank you very much, and enjoy the remaining day.
We pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we come before thee again with thanksgiving in our hearts. Father, we started the program today inviting you to be come to the end of these days. We pray that you take care of us as we travel back home. May you give us journey mercies as we travel back home. May you take care of our students who are at home, who are preparing to start learning next week. Father, may you do according to thy will, for I pray, trusting and believing in Jesus' name. Amen.
Varsity for Humanity Advancement. Egerton University we are. Passion for excellence, devotion to duty, profession. nationalism, thus until in one accord, Egerton University we are. Ushirikiano na haki kwa wote, elimu hakika, tunapata ujuzi wa maendeleo ya kimataifa. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika, kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika. In our varsity is set to achieve great opportunities through research and transforming lives through quality education. Egerton University we are. Kwa ufanisi kujitolea, utenda kazi milele, tukiungana kwa pamoja. Egerton chuo chetu cha hakika.